Yes, good evening to the students of the SLW600. Karibu Sana to my class, blended class. Those who are present, for them it is a physical class. Those who are absent, for them it is a online class. And in my last class, we are dealing about nearly we reached to the primary courts. Of course, we are discussing about the residence magistrate court as well as the district court. Just an informal discussion which I made just before is each district having the district court or not? It is another question. But as per the residence magistrate courts are concerned, it is only 18 as per the record. Please check it, because how many residence magistrate courts are there? So many district courts may not be there. So that would the thing which I would like to highlight. And here I wrote in the hierarchy, generally hierarchy, there is a constitutional court also there, but you did not say to me. A constitutional court also be established separately through the virtue of the constitution article. And that will deal only the constitutional matters are concerned. And later on that we can see the High Court, which will Court of Appeal will deal it. When you say the hierarchy, so constitutional court may be most probably the powerful court, and in general the Court of the Appeal of the United Republic of Tanzania. Of course, when you say the Zanzibar is also in the High Court. Am I right? The High Court of Zanzibar. And for the High Court of Tanzania mainland, yes, we do have the High Courts. And it doesn't mean that each zone is having the High Court. No. So I found only 18, if I not be mistaken. Yes, I'm allowing you. When I ask the question, please try to participate it. Or if you say that, sir, I don't know. But don't be silent. Okay. Select all. Yes, let in. So now let us see the point here. Let me close this one. Yeah, in my last class, we are at this place. We are the source of Tanzania, and I put the asterisk mark. Up to that extent, we covered in the last class. And here I made the asterisk mark. See, 3 asterisk marks are here, and up to that extent, I covered. The Court of Resident Magistrate is established by order of the Chief Justice vested in him under Section 5, subsection 1 of the Magistrate Court Act of 1984. And to exercise jurisdiction in such areas as may be specified in order of publishing. Please mute. When you want to speak at the time that you can unmute it. Ali Kishari, mute. Because I could not see your patronage. Mute. Mute when you want to speak at the time that you can unmute it. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So now the question comes over there. Each court, by virtue of the article only, it will be created. How many created? It depends upon the number of the cases, depends upon the demand of it. It only can. A residence magistrate court shall have the jurisdiction in all proceedings in respect of which jurisdiction is conferred, and any law for the time being in force conferring power to the resident magistrate. Now the one question comes, because you are a practicing advocate mostly. Am I? When you see, can the resident magistrate court entertain the criminal cases? But you are a practicing advocate. Who is practicing advocate here? No one is practicing advocate. I am sure that district magistrate court will deal the criminal cases. Am I right? And the civil cases are dealt by the resident magistrate court. Is it clear?
In Tanzania?
Yes, please.
In Tanzania,
yeah.
This court deals with both civil cases and criminal cases.
Then what about the resident magistrate court?
Also, the resident magistrate court deals with both cases, civil cases and criminal cases. But the district court deals with cases, all cases which occur in the districts. Well, residence includes the cases which are occurred in all regions.
Yeah, now I can come to the point. That is the reason Residence magistrate courts are less and district courts are more. Am I right? Not right. But I have the data. Perhaps it's the old data, new data doesn't matter. But there would not be that much variations would be there. Okay, one or two may be increased, but not decreased. Am I right? Not decreased. It may be increased only, but not decreased. But I have the data here. The data clearly shows me that there are 1,105 primary courts are there. Now, Tanzania mainland, which has the High Court with 13 zones and 3 divisions, and whereas 22 residence magistrate courts, 22, and 88 district courts are there. If you said no, the district court is having the jurisdiction to entertain, which is the geographical area of the district only. Is it clear? Yeah. But the residence magistrate court, it will deal both the civil and criminal cases, not necessarily from the district, this level, but under the jurisdiction, whichever that comes, all districts, means 3 or 4 districts, and that will be maintained by the residence magistrate court. In the other matter is the ambit. Ambit means area. The ambit of the residence magistrate court is big, and the district magistrate court is less. Is it clear? But they do entertain both the cases. So that is the reason, that's why residence magistrate courts are few and district courts are many. Is it clear? So the primary court is established by virtue of section 3 of the MCA 1984. But high courts and Supreme Court, by virtue of the constitution, it may be there, a constitutional provision, but other courts by virtue of the Magistrate Courts Act. So if I not be mistaken, so that was the, yes, I am right. Because High Court of Tanzania is established by virtue of Article 108 of the URT. URT means
Constitution of the United
yeah,
Republic of
I
Tanzania.
appreciate. United Republic of Tanzania. So Constitution, URT Constitution 1977, within parentheses we will say time to time amended. Am I right? Yeah. So, but when you say the primary courts, residence magistrate courts and district courts, by virtue of the Magistrate Court Act. So that is the Residence Magistrate Court, by virtue of the Magistrate Courts Act, it will deal it. And Magistrate Court Act, which year? Magistrate Court Act, which year?
1984.
Yeah, I appreciate. 1984. So that is there. For the people, those who are online, they could see on the screen. Okay, no matter. So now, this is the ratio that I could made it out. Here I come to the matter with section 3 of the MCA, that is the Magistrate Courts Act of 1984. With that virtue, the primary courts are created. In every district, and it has a jurisdiction in all the proceedings of civil nature, where the law applicable is customary law or Islamic law, and for the recovery of the civil debts, rent or interest, where the value of subject matter does not exceed 5 million shillings. Of course, the shillings variation would be there from time to time. So they say at the time 5 million shillings, and for the recovery of the civil debt arising out of the contract, where the value does not exceed 3 million shillings. For the debts is concerned 3 million, of course it varies from time to time because value of the money. These are the things we can, but what about the Qadi's court? We did not discuss the Qadi's court. Sir, it is not there in Tanzania mainland. So where it is there? Sir, it is in Nairobi. If it is Nairobi, why should I have to study? Where is the Khadis code? Sister, if you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Where is the Hadith court? Or where are the Hadith court? Khazi.
In Zanzibar.
Najwa. Yes, sir. Please, online people, tell me.
In Zanzibar.
In Zanzibar. Why is Zanzibar? Why not in mainland Tanzania? Anyone? From physical or online also. Why? Please, say out. Simple question is, in Zanzibar, faith of Islam is more. In mainland Tanzania, faith of Bible is more. If you have the faith, 99% is there, the faith of Islam in Zanzibar. But in Tanzania, I believe it is the 45% faith of Islam. So, naturally, when the personal disputes comes, personal, means family. What are the family disputes? Share your view. Family dispute. What are the family dispute? Inheritance. Directly goes to the inheritance without marriage. Marriage, divorce, and custody of the childs, then inheritance, property distribution. These are all called the matrimonial disputes. So when the matrimonial disputes are there, they are in personal nature. Person in nature. When person in nature, we don't use the other acts. Personal law, we will use it. And that is the reason personal law we use it. When you want to personal law use it, a magistrate is called Qazi. And the court which is dealing is called Qazi's court. And there are two types of the Qazi's courts are there again. One is Qazi's appellate court, another is Qazi's court. The two things are there. So now I will show you the next here. Yeah. So in the specialized division of the High Court of Tanzania, High Court of Zanzibar, both the high courts are there. But the Court of Appeal is only one. Can the Court of Appeal sit in the Zanzibar? Court of Appeal. Yes, because most of the Court of Appeal are also mobile. But in India, Supreme Court will not sit in any other place except the New Delhi. But now they are demanding it. Because everybody doesn't have the money to go to the particular place. Let the division would be there. Means South Division and North Division. North Division, of course, Supreme Court is there. South Division and East Division or West Division. They would commit. Because it is there. Delhi is in the north of India. Northern part of India. Delhi. So, the Qadi's court will come because high courts is there, subordinate courts are there, and district courts are there, primary courts are there, and the tribunals also there. Tribunals like housing tribunals and tax tribunals and tax appeal tribunals, labor reconciliation boards, Tanzania industrial courts and military tribunals and armed forces and military court. Of course, military court, only the military cases will be dealt over there, not we, and we will come over there. And the judicial system of revolutionary government of Tanzania, Zanzibar. Now I would like to ask you for your just IQ test. IQ. When Tanganyika became independent, What was the ruling party? What was there
Sun.
in Zanzibar? Zanzibar.
ASP.
Very appreciate. But when they formed CCM? After. Yes, after independence, they don't want to make the Tanganyika and Zanzibar. They clubbed together and the CCM, Chama Chama Mapinduzi Revolutionary Party. Then what is the party there in Zanzibar? That same, they do have their own again. But later on, the pluralistic way it has come, I believe it is 1991 or 90. Otherwise, till now also it's a mono party only. Though we say the plural parties, but it is one CCM only. Of course, I don't know what about the another person who is Squintai. What is the party name? The Squintai man is, they know who makes. What is the another party in Tanzania? Chadema, but you are not giving the answer. And who is the founder of the Chadema? Ade Filman Bove Kama Hivi, no?
Hey,
What do you say, King Reza? Mateja. Mateja is a Kiswahili. Nini King Reza? Anyone? Squint-eyed man. Squint. S-Q-U-I-N-T. Squint. S-Q-U-I-N-T. Eyed. Squint-eyed man. Kama hivi. Mateja. So Chadema party is there, of course. It is there what we are discussing. We are not humiliating. We are not making defamation. Am I right? And when you come to the Zanzibar, again, the Court of Appeal is there. Yes, appeal is there. Even Court of Appeal sit in the Zanzibar also. The answer is yes. And High Court is there. High Court also is there. And the Magistrate Court, yes, Magistrate Court is also there. But when you come to the Magistrate Court, equivalent is, that is called, King Reza, what do you say? This? No. This is, of course, the people, those who are online, I did not on my camera. If I on my camera, that you could know that what I am making the sign. Okay, now I on the camera. Yes, and this one is called, what do you say, like this one in English? Vertical. And what about this one? Horizontal. So, magistrate court, that is a magistrate court is having the horizontal of the Hadis appeal court. Magistrate courts having the Hadis appeal courts horizontal. And when you go Chini down to the magistrate court, it's a primary court. And when you go to the horizontal court of primary court, you can say Hadis court. So Hadis court will deal those cases where both the parties are having the same faith of Islam. Sir, if the husband is Islam, wife is Christian, if they want to file a case, matrimonial case, where do they file? Primary court or Hadis court? Did you understand my question?
primary court.
Yes?
Yes, primary court.
I said, hear the question again. Husband is Islam of faith, and wife is faith by Christian. If any dispute arose between them, and which court is having the jurisdiction to entertain? Primary court or Hadis court?
Primary court.
Wrong. The reason is, it is a matrimonial dispute. Wife and husband dispute is matrimonial dispute. So matrimonial
Primary
personal
court.
disputes are concerned both. And what is that? Patriarchal society. Tanzania is patriarchal society. If the husband is Muslim and the wife is Christian, then whose religion come to the children? Don't say Islam, say father religion. Am I right? Father religion will come. Why not the mother religion? The reason is Tanzania is a patriarchal society like
Patriarchal.
India, and hence father religion will come. Am I right? Online people,
Yes.
participants.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, I appreciate. So that is the reason. And hence, Qadi's court in the primary level for the matrimonial disputes, I said only matrimonial disputes, not other disputes, like crime, apana, contract, apana. Only marriage, divorce, maintenance, succession, inheritance, and there is no adoption, strictly speaking, in Islam. No. But acknowledgement is there, they added it. But generally they will avoid it. So from the Qadi's court, if any appeal goes to the Qadi's appeal courts. So that is the provision is there in the Zanzibar. There is a court of appeal in Zanzibar. The court of appeal handles all the matter from the High Court of the Zanzibar, and the High Court of Zanzibar is structured with the same structure of the High Court of Tanzania mainland, and it handles all the appeals from the lower subordinate courts, either from the residence magistrate court or from the district magistrate court. And magistrate courts, as I told you, the courts having the jurisdiction to entertain the cases of different nature, except for the cases under Islamic law, and which they have no jurisdiction to try, which are tried in the Qadi's court. If it is a matter of personal matters are concerned, Qadi's court. If it is a general matters are concerned, like a breach of a contract, a breach of a contract will dealt in the primary courts. So, primary courts are there, Qadi's courts are there. Or Qadi's court deal both the things. It means general cases as well as the religious cases also. Anybody from the Zanzibar here? No. From an online, anybody from Zanzibar? Say yes or no. Amna kimia. No silence. So Qadi's
No.
Okay. Let us leave that matter. The main role of the Qadi's appeal court of Zanzibar is to hear all the appeals from the Qadi's court which adjudicates on Islamic law. See, only Islamic law. But do you think that only Islamic disputes are there among the Muslims? No. There is a breach of contract disputes are there. There is a land disputes are there. And there would be a dispute of the attacking each other, defamation is there. And the parties may be any other parties, not necessarily that a Christian faith or Muslim faith, all will be equally treated because the rule of law is there. And the Qadi's court, there are lowest court in the Zanzibar which have to adjudicate all Islamic family matters such as a divorce, distribution of matrimonial assets, custody of children, and inheritance, but with the Muslim families. It means there are Qadi's courts are there are primary courts are there. Am I right? Because like a breach of contract, do they go to the Qadi's court? No. For breach of contract, they come to the primary court. So, Qadi's court, in addition to that one, primary courts are there in Zanzibar. And these are the same rank as a Qadi's court, and they deal with the criminal and civil cases of the customary nature. Why customary nature? For other things also it can deal. Of course, including the customary nature also they can deal it. Because do you think that only customary nature in the Islam is not in other faith? In other faith also there. So, yeah, amna kauka ka imbele hapa pembeni sister, are you comfortable? Very appreciate. Please, sometimes you ask me if you don't understand. Sir, how could I ask you, sir? If one thing is there, I can ask you. From beginning to the ending, there is nothing I am getting. Then how could I ask? No, pole. After. One day after another day that you could understand in percentage. Okay. So Amna Shida. First 3 weeks, 1 week, nobody would understand what I'm speaking. Sometimes the people say, this Mohindi is Lugha ya Mohindi or na Kiswahili or Kiingereza. I said, I'm speaking English. Am I right? People will understand. Lugha Mohindi, did he speak in Urdu language? Or Kiswahili? Or English? After 1 hour also, they could not know in which language I spoke. Thank God, at least you here understand in which language I am speaking. Of course, I changed my style also. So now, question comes. The additional code in Zanzibar is a Hadis code. Is it clear?
Yes.
Nairobi is also having Hadis code. Am I right? Are you giving the answer to me or Nyombani Muzungumzu? Mute. When you speak at the time, you unmute it. So now the question comes to that. Where do you find the legal materials? Locating the legal materials. Where do you find? Legal materials. Did you understand my question first? Legal means Legal, legal. Material. Nasoma. Wapi tafuta.
Library.
It is there on the online. You could see it. We find in the libraries. We find in the bookstalls. And we find in the Court of Appeal library, High Court, District Magistrate Court. And we also find in the Library of the South. And of course, we don't have the departmental library. Otherwise, we'll find the departmental library also. So, commercial division or court division or libraries, attorney general offices, Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, University of Dar es Salaam, National Archives, all legal materials and bookstalls, Dar es Salaam bookstall. Do you have the bookstall in the Manza? Now the happen. So if you want to buy, you have to go to the Dar es Salaam. There's a Dodoma, there is a bookstall. Very good, very good. At least because it's the capital of the country now, hence they should have supposed to have bookstall. Yeah. And the Dar es Salaam bookstall is there. United Nations Information Centers also there. International Criminal Tribunals of Rwanda, Arusha. Is there also library? There is a tribunal is there in Rwanda, Arusha. And the Human Rights, People's and Human Rights Court also there in Arusha. And the East African Court also there in Arusha. And these are all the places where you could find the legal material. Legal material means only books. Then what? Yes. These are all the things will come under it. Even hard copies as well as the soft copies. Now people are changing to the no hard copies. E-book, electronic book, digitals. Digital, most of the libraries are now digitalized. And they will have the password and you can see entire book in your smartphone. Entire book you could find in that smartphone. And some of the keys are also there. You can find the even Oxford University, other university also to whom they purchased. In the even including the journal also, you need not to have the hard copies now, TLR. And you will have the soft copies. And everything now. HDC is soft copy, LTR is soft copy. All India, that is reports are soft copy. All England reports also there in soft copy. Latest now. Just you can download it and you can make it. I don't know whether you have the library or not. All India reports. Soft copy. I do have the soft copy at the time in the old laptop because I gave some money and he is installed in it. Because they do have the key. And with the key they will install it. You'll get all England reports, all the copies, up to I do have at the time 2010 or 2011, when I was working in the University of Dar es Salaam. So that is number one. Then what about number two? Case law. Case laws, where do you find? A registry of High Court, registry of the Court of Appeal. Even the district court, we don't take it that much. Because why you don't take the district court decisions? Anyone? Why we don't take as a case law from the district court?
Because it is not the court of record.
There is a chance for appeal. There is a chance for the appeal from the district court to the High Court. Is it or not? Once the High Court decision is there, and when it is not gone over there, then it becomes a precedent. Go to the Court of Appeal. Okay, now case is closed there. This is the decision of the High Court. Plus, I don't know whether you know it or not. How much limitation period would be there to go to the Court of Appeal from the High Court decision? Limitation period. In general, we give 1 month. 1 month time would be there. From district court to the High Court, mostly the same High Court to the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court. Of course, it depends upon the area, but minimum 1 month, sure. Maximum, okay, it may be different, but the minimum is there to file a case, law of limitation. There we will come across. So case laws, reported case of Tanzania can be found in the number of law reports between the 1957 to 1977 High Court of Tanzania, East African Court of Appeals, and East Africa law reports. And now the current one is the TLR. What is TLR? A TLR is, you know, which type of abbreviation it is? I told you already 4 types of abbreviations. I
Tanzania
already
law
explained
report.
you 4 types
Tanzania
of
law
abbreviations. Yes?
Tanzania law report.
Yes, which type of abbreviation it is? I gave you 4 types of abbreviations on the class. When you
TLR.
pronounce, yes,
TLR.
when you pronounce each letter separately, we say initialism. When you pronounce as a word like South, it's an acronym. But when you pronounce UDSM, we are pronouncing individual, and hence it's a initialism. So that is the way that we can make it out, and the law reports will find it, and in the Law Africa also publishes some reports. Law Africa, you know what is Law Africa? Law Africa Publishing Company. They do have in Kenya. They do have, of course, printing press in Kenya. Big printing press is there in Kenya, but we do office in the Tanzania, and we do offices in the Uganda. So Law Africa also they publish it, and you may find my 2 books in the Law Africa publications. You can find my books too. Number 1, General Principle of Law of Contract in Tanzania. It's published by Law Africa Publishing Company, because I signed the contract with the Tanzania office here, and they published from there. Of course, now 1 year, 2 years, they have given the royalty. After 3rd year, I was not here, and they don't know that whether they are sold or not sold, whatever it may be there. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because my purpose is not for the money. My purpose is to write the books. Okay, so my 2 books are there in the Law Africa Publishing, and the Tanzania law reports are there. Yes, the soft copy is there. I don't know whether you have in your laptop soft copy. I think I do have it either in this laptop or in my hard disk. Up to only 77. The later on I did not have it, because you have to buy it, the key. So now that the revised laws edition we will find in the volumes now. You will find the volumes. It is supplied by the High Court. They supplied all the libraries at the time, free of cost. All the libraries. So now they are available in the soft copies also, most of the things. And government printing press also there, official gazette, they also publish it from time to time, the acts. And you will get from there also the legal materials. There is the government publication agencies. And if you go to the Janaki Street in Dar es Salaam, Mafuta House means, you know Mafuta House? Mafuta House, a big building. You not go. Askari Avenue. Askari is there, no? Did you go to there any time, Zanzibar? I mean, Dar es Salaam. It is near to the ferry. Posta. Yeah, there is a government printing press shop is there. All the government publications you can get it, which is very behind to the, that is, we say, generally we say Mafuta House. It's a big building. Behind it, it is there. And the online sources also will get it, website. Sajili. That's what Sajili. Tazili or Sajili? Tajili. Tazli. What is Tazli? It will give all the cases online in the digital, in the electronic software. Not only mostly when you will find the Uganda cases also, Kenya cases also, South Africa cases also, sometimes you will find it in the same. And another also site is there, you will find the East African, some of the decisions there. Yes. And from there also you can get the websites and the Tanzania Government Public Administration, Tanzania Law Reforms Commission, they also make it out. The secondary sources information is generally, it is customary law of Kilimanjaro. A book will be written, Intellectual Laws by Shivji. Intellectual at the Hill. Essays and talks by Ghulam Isa Shivji. And he wrote a book, Dar es Salaam University Press has published it. And you will find general things. And the constitutional administrative law, as you know that, because you already studied in your LLB. I don't know what book you studied in the Constitution, in the LLB. In LLB, undergraduate studies, what book you followed in the Constitution in Tanzania? Only any other book? Yes? Constitutional Legal System of Tanzania, civic source of book, Isha Siviji, Hamid Ismail Majamba, and Robert V. Makaramba. And this
Peter Minor.
Of course, there is another also, the Utawala ki kitabiana Demokrasia nchini Tanzania by Mtaki CK and Bahrain SA. So these people also written the contract commercial company and source of law would be there. Income tax law in Tanzania. What book you followed? These are all the legal materials. Now he is governor of Reserve Bank of Tanzania. Who is the governor of Reserve Bank of Tanzania now? Luoga. Yes, Professor Luoga. FDA Luoga. And he wrote the book Source of Income Tax Law and Non-Market Controls and Accountability of Public Enterprise, Tanzania, Pascal Miho. Excuse me. Criminal Law and Procedure. Shaidi wrote a good book. There is a penal policy in Tanzania by Shaidi. Najwa Shaidi. He's an advocate as well as he's a teaching staff there in the University of Dar es Salaam. And the law related to bail, Tanzania by J.M. Temba, and civil and procedure, Tanzania, that is Students Manual, B.D. Chipeta. Still Chipeta is alive? Good. And the legal system, the legal status of women and poverty of Tanzania, Magdalena K. Ruabangira. So, labor laws written by Jabran Stephen Gondwe, land law. Who is the famous in land law in Tanzania? Even another person also there, very good. I don't know whether you heard his name or not. Manish Fimbo. Another is? He's a practicing advocate also. Yeah, he also speaks, teaches very well. Nini? No. He's a practicing advocate also. He's having a good practice. Tenga. Tenga also, of course, he wrote in different aspects, but Tenga is very excellent in computer language, computer savvy, in a digital system, in the electronic system, and he knows a lot of things. Tenga, because he has given one beautiful lecture there for us, some resort when we went over there for some other things. But he knows a very technicality of all the computers. Yes, now let us come to the human rights are concerned. Yes, Chris Peter Maina is very authority in the human rights. Then we'll find also Haiti is there, from South Africa. Haiti. I don't know exactly name. So insurance law is there. Africa, Begamusha, and Tatla, Tanzania cases and materials, and Tinguru Huruaka is a case law book is there. But I would like to make, because I do have a lot of material in the Tatla. But at the time I was not given the renewal, that's why I went. Otherwise my book also comes in the Tatla. I compared a lot of cases in Tatla. So legal profession. Now why I am giving all this information is where the source of the legal materials are there available, and regarding the legal education is concerned, yes, you know it. Regarding the LST is concerned, what is LST? Law School of Tanzania. When the legal profession is concerned, and that is the Advocates Act, CAT, Chapter 341, Laws of Tanzania, and Tanganyika Law Society also there. And the Tanganyika Law Society will make the rules for the practice. Am I right? If you want to practice, where do you enroll? I say, when you want to enroll yourself, who will enroll? Society. What is the society? And who will frame the rules and regulations for the advocates? Is there any other society would be there, or Tanganyika Law Society? Rules and regulations. In India, we do have separate, Bar Council of India is there. It will regulate how the LLB course should be there, how the LLM course should be there. Of course, here TCU made the guidelines, but TCU is for common. I am speaking only the legal profession. Who will give the guidelines to the legal profession in Tanzania? Tanganyika Law Society is there. Is it Tanganyika Law Society? Same thing. Yes, same thing. Tanganyika Law Society. Are you a member of the Tanganyika Law Society? Those who are advocates? They should be. Am I not? For renewal, you have to pay the fee for Mohiri. To whom that you will pay? And they will make their rules and regulations. So, legal profession and the practicing, and the special constitutional court, with that my time is also up. The special constitutional court was established under Article 125 of the Constitution as a part of the judiciary in Tanzania, and this court only the constituted when there is a disagreement between the United Republic of Government and the Zanzibar Revolutionary Government over the constitutional interpretation. The court has no authority to interfere with or overturn the decision issued by the courts of appeal or the high courts. The judges are appointed on an individual basis of each case. The mainland legal society has half of the members, while Zanzibar is half of the members. When the constitutional court comes, when the dispute between the Tanganyika mainland as well as the Zanzibar. Such a thing would comes, a constitutional court will be framed, and by virtue of the 125, and they will deal the cases. And the judges, 50 from mainland, 50 from Zanzibar. So, and you don't know, I know that you know, there is a division bench, there is a full bench, there is a single bench regarding the decision is given. When the matter is dealt by the single bench, the matter can refer to the divisional bench. When the matter which is not satisfied, it can reach us to the full bench. When the full bench, always odd number of the judges should be there or even number of judges should be there. In full bench. I asked the question, odd number or even number? First, we don't know, sir, what is odd number, what is even number. Odd number is that number which cannot be divided by 2. And even number is that number which can be divided by 2. So, generally bench is always odd numbers like 7, 9, 11, 13 or 5 or 3. So, yeah, it is a odd numbers. Generally, the benches should be there. And if you want to ask at any time, the Cisco WebEx may stop it now. And today that I dealt up to this extent. But in the next class tomorrow, I am going to come again the 9.5 physically as well as the blended board. And tomorrow you read the kinds or classification of law. The kinds and classification law tomorrow that we will find it. So at any time the Cisco WebEx will stop it. And meanwhile, if you want to ask any question, you can ask me. Even the physical people, you can ask the question directly. Amna. So tomorrow that we will see it, the blended mode, both the online as well as the physical, 9-5. The place is either physical conference 2, 3 is available over there because tomorrow is Saturday. Am I right? And there is no classes on Saturday. So presumption is it will be the vacant. So we can sit in the 3 tomorrow. With this, I would like to stop. And asante sana, nashukuru sana, Mungu akubariki na kukulinda. See you tomorrow, Koheri. End of the meeting.
time working on social media for my clients. I create a lot of video content